way on the floor. 60. that if you never have experienced the power of an electric vehicle, doing it in total silence, and where you would normally in a vehicle where you would feel that those kind of G's like that pull you back in your seat, the thing that I can equate it to is a roller coaster. It's just like a roller coaster that you can put a key in and take it out anytime you want. It is a fantastic feeling that I absolutely recommend. Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're gonna take an in-depth look at a 2023 Ford F-150 Lightning. This one is the Lariat package, and it's got crazy technology in it, and I absolutely love this all-electric, full-size, big old pickup truck. And we're gonna go over all the features, inside, outside. We're gonna end up behind the steering wheel where we're gonna take you for a ride. But before we get started, I wanna say a huge thank you to Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this beautiful F-150. I'll be sure to leave all of Impex Auto Sales contact information, including their website, in the description box below. Starting with the key of the Lightning, you can see on the top you have unlock, below that lock. You have 2 times and 2 times. This is for the front, this is for the bed. Panic alarm here, but going with the front, you hit it 2 times, 1, 2, and then it pops, but then it's gonna lift. That is the coolest feature. This thing can store about the same size cargo capacity as a regular sedan trunk. The beauty of that is that it's weatherproof. So this is totally different than in a regular pickup where you're limited to putting everything in the back, and it's fine if you have a topper on the back or a bed cover or something to that effect. But this one, you have that, plus you have a huge trunk in the front, i.e. frunk. You have a ton of power outlets. Not only do you have power outlets just like the outlets on the walls in your house, but you also have USB-A, USB-C right there, all to charge whatever you need it to charge. So it's like the ultimate tailgate experience. Another cool aspect about the front is the lighting system. You've got a button right here where you can press the light, and then look, there are lights right here that are actually behind you and above you, so that if you have to come out here at night and you're working in the front, you've got lights to light this entire area. This is the coolest thing here. You notice that there is a glow ring around it. In the event that you ever get trapped inside your frunk, you can hit that button to get out. Here is your charging cable. So this is your big adapter right here. This is your cable that you plug in to the wall, and this is the other end where you plug into the truck. Speaking of plugging it into the truck, here is your opening. It looks just like a gas tank, but right there is your outlet that allows you to plug it in and to charge it. You also have another matching door, or what would appear to be a matching door on the other side, but this is just for symmetry. There's nothing here, nothing behind that at all. It just goes to match the other side. And then taking this, pushing the button underneath, and that's what closes the front of it. Now the front of this thing is absolutely fantastic. I love this beautiful futuristic looking light bar that goes from headlight to headlight on the left and on the right. It is gorgeous, and it really sets this thing apart. And look how thick it is. That's a big old piece of plastic, and like I said, it is just continuous, and you can really distinguish these things at night, especially when you walk up to it at night with the key fob on you, and it does the proximity lighting. That is such a cool thing. Then of course you have an LED stack of headlights here, this really cool diamond shaped solid front panel that basically allows you to know that it's a Lightning because it's only on the Lightning, this setup. The wheels are really cool looking too, and these are exclusive to the Lightning model. As I mentioned, this is the Lariat version. The Platinum version looks a little bit different from this, but notice that there is a lot of surface on this wheel so that it's as flat as it can possibly be to reduce wind friction. And that is a genius way to design a wheel. Coming around to the back, the whole LED light bar theme continues here in the back. You can see it starts here all the way up, all the way across, tail light to tail light, left to right, right to left. That really cool lightning emblem there that is highlighted in blue. You can see that. I really love that. But F-150, very present on the rear tailgate. And finally, your blue oval on the bottom left. Another set of sensors that are in the bumper. And then of course, another backup camera right there under the tailgate. Very, very nice. This one has the tow package. Another cool thing about it is that in this bed, it actually has a scale. So you can see up front on this big glorious screen, as soon as you put something that's heavy in the back of it, it will weigh it for you. So you know exactly how much you have in the truck bed. Let's take a look at that truck bed right now. The tailgate of this thing is just absolutely the coolest. Press that twice, and then the tailgate goes down for you. It is just beautiful. Also, another cool thing I love about the tailgate is the fact that you can just do that again and watch. It will power up. That is just a thing of beauty right there. So all you need to do is hit a button again, and you're good on your tailgate. Now, there's another way to open it, of course. Instead of just showing off and being all fancy with your key fob, you can just come right here, you can hit a button here, and it comes right back down again. But the tailgate is not done yet. Let's take a look at what I mean. Check out the ruler that you have here on the very bottom of the tailgate, or this is actually the top of the tailgate, but you've got a ruler right here that goes all the way across in case you need to measure something. But you also have another little door right here, and you've got one on the other side that matches. This is for like a vice grip. So if you're trying to cut something, you can just put it right here, clamp it down, and then you can hold whatever in place you need to hold in place. Another little cool thing, there's a button right here on the top. It folds out, and then your step drops down pretty emphatically. And then you can pull this out, bring this all the way up to the top, make sure it's secure, and then you can use this as a step to get inside the bed of the truck. Then once you're back up into the bed, you get a ton of cool little treats inside the bed. There's a light here, there's a tie down right there. There's 4 of those tie downs, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, another tie down in the very corner there. But you also have another big, huge bank of plugs. Now this is the serious bank of plugs. So this is for big stuff. So you can actually plug in your house and power your house. Now Ford says that you can actually power your house for up to 10 days if you're using minimal power. Ford also says you can use it for 3 days on a full charge on the truck. You can power your house fully for up to 3 days. I don't know the specs of what a full power house means. I would imagine just an average house is kind of what Ford's talking about, but that power bank in the back will allow you to technically power your house for either up to 10 days of using things minimally. There's something very, very cool about the back seat of this truck. It's massive. It's gonna seat 3 full-sized adults with no problem. The front seat is adjusted for a 6-footer right now. I'm over 6 feet tall, and look how much room I have. It's incredibly comfortable back here also. Tremendous amount of headroom. That's a solid 6 inches right there. The seating surfaces are all super comfortable. The back seats are perforated to match the front seats. They are not heated back here. I think in the Platinum version, the back seats, the 2 outer back seats are heated. But you've got power points down here. You've got USB-C, USB-A. You've got a couple of cup holders right here, another cigarette lighter adapter power point right here. Also another adapter just like an outlet in your house right here. Let's take a look at another cool trick that the back seat can do. You can take the seat bottom and just lift it up, and that gives you a ton of storage space. So you can lift up the seat bottom, you can lift up that seat bottom, and it'll give you this entire back compartment for storage in case your frunk is full. You can actually store stuff here as well. In order to put it down, you can just pull that, and that lets it down, and now you restore your back seat. I can't say enough about the fit and finish and the quality in this thing. Ford really thought it out about what they were putting into the truck, about what was also unnecessary inside the truck, because it seems almost like there are manufacturers that are competing to see how many buttons they can put inside a vehicle, and that just ends up confusing the consumer. Ford thought that out and put in this beautiful, gigantic screen in the middle of it. Now, if you can use an iPad, you can use this vehicle. If you can use an iPhone, no problem in using a Ford Lightning. The only real other set of buttons are going to be on the face of the steering wheel on the left and the right, and then in front of your left knee on the dash and also on the door. That's pretty much it as far as buttons are concerned. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I get frustrated with unnecessary silliness inside of a cabin that keeps you from actually enjoying the vehicle. Ford has done very well with making it so that you can enjoy the full potential of the Lightning, because there's a ton of potential there. Let me show you what I mean. The left side of the steering wheel, that's all cruise control stuff, and then audio on the bottom along with voice commands right there. A couple of safety features as well. On the right side of the steering wheel, menu, back button, and then a couple of audio things on the very bottom of that stack of buttons as well. And that's it. This is the stack of buttons that I was telling you about in front of your left knee when you're sitting in the driver's seat. It's pretty self-explanatory. These are your lights. These are more lights. Open the frunk and close the frunk. Open and close the rear tailgate, parking brake, and power pedals. So that'll move your pedals in and out. Power windows, power mirrors, door lock, seat settings for up to 3 people. So here's the beauty about this screen. It's easy to use. It's pretty much common sense once you figure out how the flow works, and it's super sensitive to your touch. So there's no lag, there's no hesitation. It just does what you need it to do. Starting up here at the very top left, when you press the little Ford Lightning truck icon, it brings you into this controls panel. You can see over here on the left side, drive modes, camera, access, towing, zone lighting, power pro power onboard parking, and valet mode. Under drive modes, you have little icons here on the right that explains what each of these drive modes is and what it will do. Then you have one pedal drive. This is what I've been using basically the entire time I've been driving the Lightning. Allows you to slow down the vehicle, bring it to a stop by controlling the accelerator pedal. And it gives you a score, an electric pedal score, if you are able to go from a certain speed all the way down to 0 without touching the accelerator. And the reason it gives you a score is because you're maximizing the regenerative braking in order to charge the battery pack. And so it's saying basically, thumbs up, good job, you're doing great with keeping the charge up. And then there's the camera, and the graphics on the camera, or the clarity of the cameras, is just absolutely superb. But I can drop this menu down and I can see different camera modes. So here are your grid lines, and that is going to help you line up into a parking space. There's the full surround sound, bird's eye view, and this, I believe, yes, this is where you can actually zoom in on a specific part of the bird's eye camera view itself. Then there's access, charge port light, trailer light check. You can add a trailer, you can have an active trailer, you can have a default trailer. Here's what's really cool about the trailer settings also. You're going to go in and customize your trailer, and you're going to actually give it the specifics of the trailer as far as the size is concerned. And the Lightning will update the estimated range based on the trailer size and weight. Zone lighting, this is so cool. I'll show you a video of this at night, what this thing looks like at night. It's absolutely incredible. Pro Power Onboard. This allows you basically to power your house if you were to need to. I think the cost of that for Ford to come out and to hook up the power panel is about $4,000 right now. Then we can go to settings, And this is going to be all of our different settings, charge settings. Right now I have 85 miles of range, or that represents 46% of the battery capacity. So you can set up the one-time max charge limit, departure, and comfort. Man, that is just unbelievable. And as you can see, the touchscreen responds incredibly well. You can set up a personal profile, add a photo, intelligent suggestions. You can link your key fob. This allows you to do any number of things. Driver assistance. This is going to be like safety things, pre-collision assist. That's going to help you. And I love this, how it gives a little bit of information to you so that you know exactly what you're getting into whenever you hit this, put this selection in. Provides forward collision warning. If you don't respond in time, the system can automatically apply the brakes. Lane keeping system. Man, it even gives you an infographic. I've been using that lane keeping system, and it's superb. It does really, really well. It'll vibrate the steering wheel, and it will also, as the text says, gently guide your vehicle back into the lane. Very, very nice. So this is just a quick view of some of the settings under driver assistance. So that's under this icon where you have the little truck right there. Audio, and this is going to take me to the audio screen. You can see a ton of different presets all right here. You can see we're under FM, there's Sirius XM. Here are audio settings all right there. And then this is actually super good as far as the sound system is concerned. The Bang & Olufsen sound system, it's 8 speakers. It's a decent little system. So I can go back here, and then right here are my apps. I can edit it. I can put in a personal profile. Right now I have all of my my Apple CarPlay, all that stuff is hooked up in it. Sketch, pretty neat. So check this out. So there's your sketch pad. I just absolutely love it. And so if you don't have anything to write with, boom, there you go. Go under entertainment. And this is where you can play games. Check out lane change. Of course, I'm going to pick this one because it's a car game. Then we can hit start. And all you do is, oh my goodness. And you notice that it's all Ford vehicles, of course. Bunch of GTs right there. And then down here is all climate controls. This, as you have seen, is the volume button. So I can press that and I can turn the stereo off. Right here is climate settings for the driver, climate settings for the passenger, heated and air conditioned seats right here. I can just flip that up and it cuts the heated seat on, flip it down, and it cuts the ventilated seat on. You can probably hear that. This is how you can manually control the fan on the climate system. Max defrost, rear defrost, heated and ventilated seat for the passenger. And now you can see that the air is coming from under the passenger and driver's seats. There's air coming out of the rear registers. This is just so cool. Or you can just make it driver focused, or that's driver focused, or you can take it off of driver focused. And then you have another PowerPoint right here. You have another PowerPoint here, just like an outlet in your house. And this whole time, I don't know if you can tell, but I've had my arm on a panel right here. This is actually like a desk. Let's take a look at that. Okay, you can see this huge armrest that I have right here. A couple of cup holders here. But you can take this armrest and fold it out, and you have a desk. But first, you have to do something else. And that is right here. This is your gear shifter. And you have just regular, park, reverse, neutral, drive, all those things. But then you have a little button right here. And when you're in park, you can press that, flatten out the gear shifter, take this, push a button right here, fold it all the way out, and now you have an entire desk. That is a huge working space. Then you match that with the sketch pad that you have up here. You're just taking notes and getting junk done left and right. Then you can actually take this and open it up again from here, and you have a huge storage box, cargo box right there. You also have a ton of charging. This is Qi wireless charging, USB-A, USB-C, all right there. Tons and tons of cool stuff. Then you have a panel that comes back, and you have that simulated wood grain right there that matches what's on the doors as well. Super luxurious. A couple of boxes that you have here. You can open that. You can open this here. Very, very nice. But as far as the drive of the Lightning, it is really, really surprising to me. It is only moderately trucky. And by that, whenever you hit a bump, you feel a little bit of a shimmy that's behind you a little, and that kind of reverberates through the body itself. But I think that one of the things that Ford does is by putting the battery pack in the middle of the vehicle, it basically helps that center of gravity, and it makes it so that it's better in turns, although it's still an F-150, so it's going to be trucky in the drive in turns, but it helps balance it out, and it makes it feel much more solid whenever you do come over bumps. Another cool aspect is the whole thing of this huge panel right here with this screen. It is nowhere near as obtrusive as you would think. It's really not in your way. You would think that something that large would get in your way, but it really doesn't. Here we go again. God, that is crazy. That is so crazy. I think the other thing about it too is the fact that this is happening, and I know I'm in a huge truck. Not a huge truck, but a full-size Ford F-150. And it's this like modern and advanced feeling and sounding, and all it's like a feast for the senses. The only thing about driving this daily is staying out of the accelerator. You would have to really make an effort to not just gun it all the time. You know, ideally you need to stay out of sport mode. You need to, you know, use that one pedal driving as much as you can, and but hopefully the novelty of it all would wear off kind of quickly, and you would get to normal driving. But having it for a weekend and all this power right on tap, it just puts a smile on your face every time you accelerate. And I have not been dogging it at all. In fact, I've been doing it very gingerly. There is a bit of wind noise, nothing that's out of control. Still incredibly quiet. I'm going 67 miles per hour right now, and it's much more quiet than a regular truck, a regular full-size truck. I really like how easy the radar cruise control and the lane keeping assist, lane tracing, all those are to operate. They're really easy to use. I'm doing one pedal driving right now. I'm getting onto a ramp, and it's 20-mile-an-hour ramp, and that was no problem. I'd never even touched the brake. So I'm coming up to a stoplight. Foot is completely off the accelerator. Up to it. And I'm gonna have a little coach that pops up right here. It's coming to a complete stop. Brake coach 100%. So that was just this like big thumbs up from the truck saying thank you for putting a little bit of more electricity back in the battery bank there. The seats in this thing, I was driving in it with my wife, and she said the seats are just absolutely fantastic, and they feel really, really good. No problem at all with the seats. You could actually go on a nice long trip and you would be totally fine. I'm still amazed at the room in the back seat. It is just huge. It's cavernous in here. Now, driving it in neighborhoods and in residential streets, it feels like it's just a sedan almost. You can kind of feel the fact that it is a truck, but again, with the fact that it's got these ultra super responsive electric motors that are powering it, it makes it feel super just fast, sedan-like. Again, I can feel a little bit of body shake, very minimal though. This thing is really, really comfortable. Okay, everybody, that's gonna do it for our look at the 2023 Ford F-150 Lightning Lariat. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan. As you guys already know, I'm a big fan of electric vehicles as it is, so it's no surprise that I really enjoyed this review. Speaking of that, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if I have earned your subscription. But remember, the most important thing of all, have a wonderful day, everybody.